What's up, everybody? It's Justin Porter here, and I'm here with head coach of the softball team, Coach Enrique Villa. I want to appreciate him for coming here and sitting down and spending some time with me to just talk about their season. This is their first finish to the regular season here at Wayland as a softball team, and they came out at 5th in conference with an 18-18 conference record. And they have found themselves facing off against a team that they just split with at the end of the year. Coach, talk to me about how you feel about everything now that you guys have finished your first regular season.
Well, I mean, I feel really good. From the beginning, I have felt good about our kids, you know, and I liked our chances of competing. You know, of course, you never know how things are going to go. I was very hopeful that we would be able to make some noise. Yeah, I mean, I feel really good just about where our kids are right now. They're, as they would like to say, locked in. They're excited. We're all excited about this opportunity. You know, we understand that it's going to be just a one game at a time mentality, and we're actually very excited about facing you know, the same team in Southwestern Christian that we just faced this last weekend, especially since we split that series. You know, we're anxious to find out, you know, what's going to happen this next game.
And Coach, it seemed like about, I guess I could say halfway through the season, it was about that point where you guys had that midweek matchup against Dallas Christian. I know we talked about it beforehand. Before that matchup, you guys were sort of on a little struggle trying to find the success. You guys had close games that you just didn't come out on top of, and then you had some games where it seemed like we couldn't have a clean inning. And then after that midweek matchup, you guys sort of flipped the script, and then the rest of the season was just really good ball, played really clean games, did really good things offensively to create offense. Talk to me about what went into that I guess that flipped switch halfway through the year.
Yeah, I think early on our kids, in trying to do well, they were trying to perform. I don't know if they were trying to perform for one another, you know, fans or whatever, but I think we were trying a little too hard. And when you try a little too hard, many times you play tense. And so I feel like we were tense in the circle. I feel like we were tense in the batter's box, and I feel like we were playing tense defensively. And with every, you know, little mistake that we would make, it would just kind of become intensified, or we would make it on our own intensified. And we had several games where, you know, mistakes just kind of snowballed into big innings for the other team. At times, you know, we'd get discouraged, and it would just, you know, be more difficult to come back from that. But what I saw was, you know, the girls just kind of kept pressing in. Like, I could see that they were, I mean, just really wanting to get past just the competing, and they were really wanting to win some games. So, you know, for me, as a coach, just kind of watching them, I feel like really what flipped for us is we stopped playing to the expectations of whether it be other people or ourselves, and we got to a place where we just played to have fun, but more importantly, we started playing for one another. And so whenever somebody would be down, somebody would play up. And then we just started seeing, you know, successes inning by inning, and then we started putting together several good innings at a time, and then before you knew it, you know, we won a game here and there. And so we got to a point where what I feel all of us knew or were confident in, which was that we could win, everybody, I think, just started kind of having the same mindset, you know, the same feelings about that, and that's where you create unity.
What part about that portion of the season would you say was your favorite moment, where you just really just sat back and just looked and was just really proud of the team?
Oh, wow, I think I kind of mentioned this a little bit the last time we talked, is just in how we were practicing. You know, kids were practicing, or they appeared to be practicing more with a purpose and intent of whoever we were facing, over the next weekend. But just watching the kids interact, like at practices, them having a good time. That's when work doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just watching the kids interact, not only in practices, but trips, and also just whenever I would take the time to talk to them. Like we have team meetings pretty much every evening, anytime we're traveling. And we have just these short team meetings just about what we're looking at for the next day, what our approach is going to be. But we like to have a lot of talks about, team and unity and playing for one another. And I think you can feel and you can see what we like to call the buy-in in how kids listen, take it in, and then respond. And our kids have been really, really good all year long, all season long, about always responding, whether we perform well or not, up to whatever expectations. Our kids always respond well.
Now, this might be sort of leading in the same direction, but I want to talk to you about the postseason that's coming up. I know you guys are leaving tomorrow, correct? Yes. What would you say is the most exciting part about that? Now that you guys have, you finished the regular season, you've sort of gotten all of the jitters out of the way the first half of the season, and then you guys found it in this latter half. What would you say is the most exciting thing about getting ready for the first postseason?
For me, the most exciting thing is what I feel like I really, really saw this last weekend in our kids. I've seen it all season long, but it just really stood out this last weekend after our Friday games. It was our goal to take 3 out of 4. But I mean, Southwestern Christian is a very good team. They're a tough team to beat. And so when we split Friday, I knew that in that second game, we all knew that in that second game, we just had not played as well as we can. And the very next morning, I just saw these kids, actually probably before we left the field on Friday, but into the next morning, I just saw this determination in our kids that that we were going to win a game the next day, that we were not going to lose that series to that team. And so I see that same determination going into this tournament. You can see that the kids just understand that anything can happen in any one game. But I see a determination and a belief that they can beat anybody. So that's just fun to see for me. So yeah, I guess I would say that's the most fun thing to witness.
This is the last question I got for you. When you guys get there and you think about all that you've already done, talk to me about something that you feel that you have taken from this season outside of just the fact that you're coaching a new team. You guys have all these new marks ahead of you where it's the first postseason game. You had your first game. You had your first finished season. You finished in the top 5, and it's just like you're reaching all these marks, and you've already surpassed the goal of making the conference tournament that you had set at the beginning of the year. What to you do you feel like you can take away for yourself since you've coached these girls this year, and what do you feel is the most important thing about coaching?
The most important thing in coaching is leading an X number amount of people, whether it be a team or a program, leading them in the same direction that we're all moving, right? So in this case, it's the sport of softball that we all love, but using that as a tool to, what we all like to talk about as coaches is the unity and the team that we believe it takes you know, for everyone to come together to accomplish, whether it be a goal or multiple goals or whatever. Yeah, I mean, just to take this group of girls that, you know, one of the questions I get asked often when I talk to, you know, recruits and stuff like that is, you know, do you guys just recruit in-state? Do you recruit out-of-state and whatever? And I've gotten all sorts of different advice from everywhere. But just as things have happened, you know, going into this first season, yeah, I mean, all we were trying to do is just bring in people that love softball and that wanted to continue playing, and they wanted to do it here at Wayland. So in that, you know, you have a passion, a drive, and a desire to do good things through softball. And so when you take those kids, whether they be the most talented at whatever position or not, when you take a group of kids that all have those same desires, and you lead them well, and you lead them in a positive direction, and you give them vision, and you do it through a lot of encouragement, people can and will come together and do some really, really good things. But it can be difficult if you don't have that buy-in that we talk about. But our kids, I mean, it takes so much trust, you know, player to player, player to coach, coach to player, for you to be able to just take different people with different personalities and different skill sets and then just bring them together to do something well as a unit. So the unity, the team part of it has always and always will be something that I just really, really love just about sports in general. But, you know, the blessing that it is to get to coach and to lead a group of people, you know, to try and accomplish good things.
Yes, sir. I hear you. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. I just wanted to thank you first for coming here, and I wanted to wish you good luck as well going into this postseason. I know you guys are leaving tomorrow, so I pray you guys have safe travels and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.